Let's now talk about images, where the wcag 1.1.1 is used the most. And I have a couple of slides on that along with examples. First of all, for the HTML img element, the alt attribute is required. Maybe some people are not aware. Omitting alt is an error in the validator, and it leaves assistive technology without an explicit author intent. Screen readers can substitute the file name, read nothing useful, or behave inconsistently. So actually this is required, otherwise it's a mistake. So alt with a non-empty text provides the short text alternative for meaningful images, like here we have. And this you can see this 1.1.1 in practice how this should be done. For decorative alt, for decorative for example, for decorative content, for example, icon, you must do it writing alt with empty string. It marks the image as decorative or redundant with adjacent text. And when you are omitting alt on images, you must not do it. If you truly need to know short label and the image is decorative, you use what? This. You are using alt with empty string. So this never use. And for other elements, for example, CSS background image, there is no alt, so you must just decide whether the image is decorative only, which is often fine in terms of background, or whether there is some kind of equivalent information that must appear somewhere else on the page. But focusing on images, you want to use like this or like this. Yeah, and here is example. Here is the example. I will show you, for example, if I click command, here I can see the alt text, here nothing, which acts as a decorative in this example, and here I get missing image description. I will try to play in a voiceover now in the screen reader.
Welcome to voiceover. Close, new end hub, view H, bookmark this tab, check, lock to apps, wait, you pick dacro, leaving save, leaving empty, close, empty alt vert J Patel, head of empty alt vert J Patel, head of engineering, smiling in front of a bookshelf, image. You are currently on a group. To interact with items in this group, press Ctrl, Option, Shift, down arrow. J Patel, head of engineering. To get missing image descriptions, open the context menu, unlabeled image.
You see, you get unlabeled image.
J Patel, head of engineering, smiling in front of a bookshelf, image. J Patel, head of engineering, smiling in front of a bookshelf, image. To get missing image descriptions, open the context menu, unlabeled image, group.
So when I hover on this one, it's reading the first and the third one, because this one is being skipped.
Space with system voiceover off.
So what you could see, when we had alt image, the screen there at this. When we didn't have anything, it was skipped. or actually it was reading the first one and the last one. In the last one, it read that there is missing missing description. Next, decorative versus meaningful images. How to decide? Well, in short, I would say for icons would be decorative, for example. But there is a decision tree. For example, you can ask yourself if the image conveys information to understand the content. If yes, you need to write concise alt that conveys that equivalent message for screen readers. If the same information appears in the plain text straight after the image, decide whether the image is redundant. Because if it's redundant, making the alt with empty string is often correct, of course, so users don't hear the duplication. Next example, if the image is purely decorative, like borders, stock photos that add no task relevant detail, use of course alt with empty string and ensure no essential instruction relies only on the image. Is it a chart, diagram, or screenshot of data? A short alt can summarize the takeaway. A long description can be required for the full equivalent. Is it an icon next to visible text that already labels the action? Of course, then we use alt with empty string for the icon if the visible label is programmatically associated and clear. Otherwise, the control needs an accessible name. For example, using aria label on button wrapping the icon. Functional images, for example, when it's part of a link or a button, must describe the function or destination, not the artwork. So you are describing what is the action after you click, not how it looks. So for example, you say click to submit. You don't say yellow button. Yeah, so for example. Groups of images, for example, star rating need a single description or one image with appropriate alt, not 5 repetition of stars. Another example. So I think with this little description you can now try yourself and just go with the flow. Sometimes you make mistakes, it's normal, but now you're aware that the alt text is the essential part where all your journey with accessibility starts with just on the alt text on images, in most cases images. Alt for link images. When an image is the only one content invisible inside a link, the image text alternative effectively becomes the link name. So describe where the link goes or what it does, not a literal description of the bitmap again. So you don't say that this is you do not say that this is a yellow button, but you say that this is a, for example, in this case, it will check CodeSandbox website because it will redirect to this link. For input type image, the alt attribute provides the accessible name. For the submit control, equivalent to a submit button's label. We'll see it again also. Here is the code if you want to check, and here is you see. Yes, so we have the different alt text, but I will also try with voiceover.
Welcome to VoiceOver. VoiceOver speaks descriptions of items on the screen and can be used to control. Link, image, check CodeSandbox website, horizontal splitter, collapsed on top, edit CodeSandbox, but check CodeSandbox website, image. You are current edit CodeSandbox, button.
See the difference, it looks the same, but one is link.
Check CodeSandbox website, image.
One is link and one's input.
Edit CodeSandbox, button.
Yeah, so be aware.
At index.html, Chrome, space with space voiceover off.
And then if I click here or here it doesn't do anything, but if I click here, it opens CodeSandbox.io. I'm logged in, so it opens my dashboard. Okay, if you'd have a situation that the text link sits beside the image and repeats the same purpose, then please don't duplicate announcement. Either use one element with a clear name or mark redundant image with empty alg, and keep the link as the primary name. So to summarize this class, use alt whenever it's decorative. Use alt always. Whenever it's decorative, make sure to clean this up, and that's it. And then you'll be actually doing better than most of the applications these days, if you remember only this rule, and more to start soon. And we'll continue about the next classes in the next recording.